Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, so 3 more from Colombo, and this time we're going to go on to the dark side. In other words, 3 very dark ales. One is a smoked black IPA, which sounds rather interesting, which is the one we will begin with. Then we will have a porter, which is apparently a coffee porter. I don't drink coffee, so I'm not sure what that's going to be like. And then a stout, also made with coffee, but a dry stout. I'm not sure what the difference between dry stout and normal stout is, but also it has coffee. I hope it doesn't have too much coffee, as I do have an aversion, a reaction to drinking coffee. So, the first of these is the smoked black IPA. Now, I've never had a black IPA, always standard coloured, but this, as you can see, is rather dark indeed. It looks rather like a stout, to be honest. Very black as night. Can't really see. I guess it's very, very dark red more than anything. Not heavily smoked. But the smokiness is a bit like the beers you get from Germany called Rausch beers from the area of Bamberg. It's more like a stout in flavour and texture than it is an IPA. There's hops in there, but they're kind of masked by quite a chocolate note. This doesn't seem like an IPA. Very much a stout-like beer, and it's 6.6 in alcohol, so like a good, almost imperial stout in a way. Very chocolatey. It's not a strong smokiness compared to, say, a Rausch beer, but has that kind of vibe of a Rausch beer. That's rather nice. Oh, very nice. Totally unexpected beer. I wasn't really sure what to expect from that one, but that's nice. It's a lovely feeling in the mouth after it. I don't know why they haven't called this a stout. Maybe called it a smoked stout. But in terms of smokiness, I don't get any smokiness. What I get is a stout. Have they labelled it incorrectly? I don't know. But certainly I get, in the mouth I get the feeling of being like Cacep chocolate in a way. That 100% that I've tried with a couple of other stouts and other dark beers. I do like that. Okay, so on to the third of the dark side, and that's the porter. This is the coffee porter, which is a 5.9% alcohol. So, oh no, sorry, 5.5% alcohol. Let's try this out, and with some Cacep 100%. So, let's pour it out. Again, a very dark beer. And as I've said, it's a coffee porter, and I'm not really a coffee person. well, I'm not really sure on aromas of coffee, but it doesn't have a very strong coffee aroma. Very rich. Has a lot of things going on in that glass. It's a fruit that comes. I'm not quite sure of the fruit, to be honest. It's very different. This is different to the other porters I've tried. I don't know if it's the kind of malt they use. It's very rich, toasted. Has this very nice taste on the tongue. You get that fruitiness in the mouth. Very different to the British porters that I've had. There's a nice zestiness. Trying to break this chocolate. Ah, there we go. Maybe the chocolate overpowers it a little bit. It does say on the bottle that with red meats and with chocolate cake. So with a piece of chocolate, it should be excellent. I was expecting something a little richer in terms of a stout or porter. And actually it's quite light. It's quite a light texture of such a dark beer. Very unexpected. There's very intense darkness, but a lighter body to it. I'm not really sure if I like it as much. Compared to the others, yeah, it doesn't have really the flavour that I like so much. There's just something in there that, although it's good, it's not really my kind of thing. Yeah. Well, not everyone can be excellent or quite as good as the other, can it? Yeah. I think we'll go on to the stout. Okay, so on to the third of the dark side, and this is the coffee dry stout, or Forajido is the one. Most of the others are just called Colombo. Only 3 of them have actually had a name for the beer. Maybe they're moving over from just calling it the name of the brewery and the kind of beer and giving them names now. But anyway, let's see what this is like. A dry stout, but with coffee. A straight glass this time. Oh, can you see in style? That's a nice foam, a nice stouty foam that you always get, and that very dark. And this is 5.9% in alcohol, and it says you can enjoy this with chocolate cake, rather like the previous one, the porter, and nuts as well. So it's probably more a dessert beer. Oh wow. Yeah, that you get a strong whiff of coffee and a very typical stout aroma. I just hope there isn't fresh coffee that may get the better of me. Will I be able to sleep tonight? Oh yeah, you taste coffee there. That's got a very strong, very pronounced coffee flavour. This is a good one after a meal, most definitely. Yeah, that is nice. And we will try this with the Cacep 100 as well. You could only drink one of these. It's a very intense beer. That does go nicely with the chocolate. If you're a coffee lover, this would be like beer and espresso mixed together. Maybe you should really drink one of these in the morning. No, that's not a good idea. That's a very intense flavoured beer. So what's my verdict on these three, the dark side? Well, they were okay. I wouldn't really say I enjoyed them as much as the other four. It wasn't that they were too heavy, they just weren't flavours that I enjoyed as much. Maybe the black IPA a little more. Maybe I would say, yeah, that one I enjoyed. And then maybe the dry stout, then followed by the porter. The dry stout was okay. Maybe it was because of the coffee that I didn't enjoy it so much. Ooh. There's the burp again. But in terms of stouts, I think I preferred the Colombo Brewery's one with the Ticus. I think that one I enjoyed rather more than these ones, to be honest. So, yeah, they were okay, but I didn't save the best till last. In terms of the beers from the Colombo range, I would say I would put the Agave Ale, the Mestiza, number one. Then I would say the Irish Red Ale would be my number two. Yeah, in third, equal third, probably between the Pale Ale and the Frambuesa. I think they were kind of together. I'm not sure which one I would really say I would put above the other, to be honest. And then, as I said, probably the black IPA, the Forajido, the dry stout, and then probably at the bottom I would put the porter. But in general, that's a nice, interesting range of beers. Very different range of beers to the ones from other breweries that I've had. But yeah, I think it's a good brewer. Yeah, they make some good beers. Not all are as good as the other, but then not everybody can produce such a wonderful range of beers. Well, maybe Minerva and Colima. I would probably say they are ones who can produce such wonderful beers, and probably Ventland as well. So, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe from the buttons below, and wherever you are, enjoy a beer. Cheers. Thank you for watching.